Happy Friday, Periscope world. It's amazing that it is Friday. I'm super excited. Today I am logging on for my contributors again. Hello, beautiful ladies. Hi. Um, Hello to all my replay viewers. Thank you so much for hopping on and watching. Remember, you can still tap the screen to give me hearts, or you can share by swiping, or if you're on Catch, then you can also share out to your people, but you can't give me hearts, which is sad. So try to find me live. Welcome. It looks like I have at least one person. Periscope's always really weird about my followers or like live watchers. So if you're here, put your name in the box. I'll give you a shout out. So today we're talking about one of the most important things about blogging, because you can write the world's greatest blog post in the world and then you send it out onto the blog and then no one will ever read it. Because while you should be starting an email subscription to your blog, that's super important, but we'll talk about that a different time, especially since for my girls, you don't have to worry about that because I already have all of that set up and taken care of for you. But a huge percentage of blog traffic comes from social media. So writing a blog post is like the tiniest small part of running a blog. And a huge part of it is promoting those blog posts. If you do not promote your blog post, your blog will never be read. And that's going to be a problem because, as we know, traffic is our bread and butter. And the more traffic we have, the more likely we are to be able to get those sponsored posts. And also, I mean, if you're putting your heart and soul into a post, you want it to be read. Hi, Sean. Yeah, we'll see if you're like, no, Nicole, you're telling them all wrong. But so there's no sense in doing a blog post and then having it just sit there and no one reads it and no one responds. So this scope will be specifically for my girls who are writing on my site, but hopefully anyone with my kind of a website would be able to apply it to their social media strategy. Sean, who's actually on right now, we've talked a lot about social media and things, and he writes a blog for dads. And so his, where he's focusing his key like pushes and stuff for social media are really basically polar opposite of mine. He does awesome on Twitter because lots of guys and dads are on Twitter, whereas I love to focus on Pinterest because lots of moms are on Pinterest. So if you're watching this and you're not one of my contributors, that's going to play a lot into it. Just a refresher for you guys, I run Confident Foundation, which is a lifestyle blog that is based on encouraging women to confidently embrace their beauty and talents through Christ in every area of life. So we cover everything. I think my main areas are beauty, faith, health, recipes, parenting, travel, and I think that pretty much sums it up. Entertainment. So those are our things. Yes, you do. You need to go where you're, and if you don't know who your target market is, that's the very first thing you need to figure out. I used to get mad because they would try to kind of pigeonhole you into a niche, and you don't really need to find your niche so much but you do need to find who you're writing to. And so basically, I sat the girls down that I'm writing to, and I said, we are writing to us. I am writing to people just like me and just like you. We're writing to moms who are in their 20s and 30s. So because that's our target demographic, we're able to cover a wide variety of topics that would appeal to that, but we want to keep it in there. So for example, I just did a bunch of pictures of when my husband built up the sides of our travel trailer and stuff, but I'll probably be encouraging him to put that on his website somewhere, because that doesn't really fit my target demographic unless there's an awesome, like really adventurous woman who wants to build up the sides of a travel trailer. Flatbed trailer, excuse me. I have trailers on the brain. We're like trailer shopping in every way, shape, and form right now, so that's why I'm running it all together. But yeah, just figure out who your target demographics are, and then figure out where you can go to find and reach them, and how you can utilize each platform to find them on each platform. For example, one reason why I'm using Periscope to do more training tutorials and things like that is because my key reader demographic is not on Periscope yet. Periscope right now, as far as I can tell, is a lot of the leadership people of each key demographic, and there are lots of bloggers on Periscope, but I'm not so much seeing a lot of readers on Periscope so far. So that's why I'm using this to do more training for my other leaders and not using this as a, oh, here's a behind the scenes of my blog, which as Periscope grows, then I can maybe transition into that. And I've done bits and pieces, but if I use Periscope for that, then I'm embedding those videos into my blog posts and in like Catch so that my readers can actually see them, because my readers and my target demographic is not on Periscope yet, which is why I'm not even going to be talking about it in this scope, which is kind of ironic. So let's get started. For me, you have the big four for my blog, and the big four in social media are Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. And you'll notice I left Instagram off. I love Instagram, and I do have a very active account over there, and I'm really trying to grow my Instagram, but Instagram does not have clickable links. So I treat Instagram as its own entity. Like it is a part of my brand, but it's not directly correlated with my blog. If you go over to my Instagram account, which is also at Confident Foundation, I think they let me use my whole name at Instagram. Everywhere I'm either at ConfidentFound because they cut off my link. Yes, Instagram actually let me use my whole name. So if you go over here, I'll flip it. If you go over and look at my Instagram, you'll see I'm actively trying to build this up. I would love to have about at least 10,000 followers at one point. But you'll look through and you'll see what I use Instagram as is I use it as my behind the scenes, basically, of my life and my blog. It's a way for my readers to be able to connect with me on a more personal level and see what's going on behind the scenes of the blog. So if you'll look, I actually don't even usually share my blog posts on here unless it's specifically asked for me to. So like I'm looking down here, and this was the last blog post I shared. And then I always also put tons of other stuff. So different brands use Instagram for different things. I went to a blogging conference last year, and they talked about using Instagram as your portfolio. To show people what you did the best. And so she actually highly discouraged selfies and family shots and was saying that. But I loved her. She was an amazing speaker, but I totally disagree. For my brand, since I am a lifestyle blog, my thing is okay, this Instagram is how I show you what my real lifestyle looks like. This is my behind the scenes peek, because honestly, I'm not getting any traffic from Instagram anyways. So I decided just for me that it was better to use. And because of that, I'm actually not having my contributors even contribute to my Instagram account. If they want to get Instagram opportunities, I'm encouraging them to start building up their own Instagram accounts. Whereas with all of the other big four that I show you guys, they will just be posting, or if you're my contributor, you will just be posting on my accounts for all of those platforms. So I'm going to walk you through. Let me see if I can get you set up over here. Let's move this around. And one of these days, guys, I promise I will get a tripod. I've actually finally decided that I like Periscope enough that I think I'm going to invest a little bit in it. So that'll be good for you, right? All right. There we go. I think that will work. Let me position you so I can actually reach my mouse. Okay. So, Brienne Breezy, who is my sister-in-law, my amazing, amazing sister-in-law, is one of our new contributors. Yes, exactly. It's treat Instagram like bonus content. If you want to, that's a great way to reach out and treat it and stuff. And I love to use it to find other bloggers, especially because lots of bloggers are online. And so Instagram, I actually use it to, as a campaign manager, to follow and get inspiration from people, because there'll be people I follow and I'm like, oh my word, their feed is lifestyle and a sneak peek, but it's their photos are just gorgeous. So, you just have to figure out each platform and how to utilize it for your specific website. So, all right, guys, I'm going to be looking at my screen and doing stuff. So if you're making comments, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm just doing that. So, all right. So Brienne just did this amazing, she does amazing word art, and so this is her first free word art printable post that she did for us, and she's going to start doing that. She is also the one, if you noticed, who did all of this amazing blog design, and I just adore her. But, so she just did this for me, and so I'm going to use her post as an example. And I actually already put it on Twitter, and then I was like, oh, I should be using this as my training scope. So, I will just go ahead and come here. So then with Twitter, for me, I always put everything out on Twitter, and for a while I had a very love-hate relationship with it, but now it's more love than hate because I'm finally figuring out how to utilize it effectively, and that is through Nate Ingles' ebook. And so if you're a blogger, I'd really recommend getting Nate Ingles' ebook. If you're in my So You Want to Be a Blogger group, I actually have it linked in there, so it's easy to find. So for Twitter, obviously you have the 140 limit. I always try to put a photo in because you get a lot more engagement if you have a photo in it. And so you just go here and then click tweet, because a lot of my girls are actually not very familiar with Twitter. So this is what the homepage looks like. You'll log in and it'll be the homepage, and then up here it'll be let me see what it looks like before you click into it. Show you. So yeah, you'll just have this little blank box up here. This is what's happening. It's just basically like Facebook, but you don't have, you have the 140 character limit. I know. It's funny. Yeah, I think all of my contributors are not on Twitter, personally. Maybe one of them is. Hi, Adelina. See, I can say your name right now. I think. But, so, I know, yeah, no, and see, that's also why I've not ever until recently utilized Twitter probably to its full potential, because I knew that my target market, who is those moms, most of them aren't on Twitter. They just don't really use it. They don't really get it. So once I started adding my contributors and they were all like, we've never logged into Twitter, I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought all these years. So, but, which is really funny though, guys, because as you can see, this is my highest following platform. So, a little funny, but I decided that since it is my highest following platform, that I really needed to start utilizing it. And like I said, I've been able to through that ebook, and I'm actually getting really good engagement and had some really good connections lately, and so that's been pretty awesome. Yes, TweetDeck's pretty awesome. It helps simplify things. I've used TweetDeck before. I've used, what are the other ones? There's the one other one, and then I love Buffer for scheduling stuff out too. Yes, yeah, desktop, because they don't have an app, right? I don't think they ever came out with an app for Twitter. But, so, it's just, like I said, basically think of it as a, yes, I haven't ever tried Pablo. I'll have to check that out. I did, Hootsuite. I did Hootsuite for a long time until I figured out Buffer, and then I like Buffer better, so I'm pretty much just loyal to Buffer these days. But for my contributors, yeah, so basically think of it as a Facebook status update, but you're limited to 140 characters, which may or may not change. Who knows? One thing about social media too is it's constantly changing, and so you have to be flexible and you have to be willing in this profession to just constantly reteach yourself stuff over and over and over and over again. Okay, so to do this one on Twitter, I always try to do something that will grab people's attention in a short and easy way. If there's room, it's great to include hashtags, but for me today, I was more concerned with actually getting the picture because it's a free printable. So I would put no tricks here, just treats, because obviously it's April 1st, guys. Come download this gorgeous free printable today, Happy April. And then they have that, and then the link to the thing. So you always, on Twitter, always include a link to the site. You can also use bit.ly to shorten the link if you need to, and that is it's bit.ly/, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, and then you just drop your link into here, and then you shorten, and then it comes down right there, like you can see. I've done them right there, and then you click copy, and then you can use that. So then that's a super useful, handy tool, and I'll put that link for you guys in the notes section too, so you can get to it easily. So that's the one for Twitter, and then I like to pin my most recent one, but for my contributors, don't really worry about that so much. because I'll probably just choose strategically for us which ones we want up there from time to time. So I've been using this pinning the most important recent blog post, and it's actually been really, really effective. I've gotten so much more interaction with that post now, more traffic to it, and more likes and retweets when I have it pinned, like something important pinned. Especially because, I like to use Twitter as throwing out everything all day, every day on it, because it's really good for that. So there's Twitter. Not so big and scary. A lot of everyone is always scared by Twitter. It's really not scary, guys. It's actually kind of cool. So you got Twitter taken care of. So then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Facebook. And I actually usually share out Facebook, then Twitter, then Pinterest, and then Google+. But you can do it in any order. It really doesn't matter. All right. So on Facebook, and when you are a contributor on my page, which you all are, my girls, you will go to my Confident Foundation, right up there. You probably want to bookmark it because you'll be going to it fast. But if you just type in Confident Foundation right there, it'll pull it up. And on my thing, I have this nice handy little shortcut right there, so it takes me right to it. So however you want to do it. So you are going to go right here, just like a normal status update if you were just posted on your page. And so for Facebook, you want to kind of make it status updatey. You want to put something that people are going to want to look at and click through and take the time. So I try to make it kind of conversational while also being interesting. So for this one, I'll put Happy April 1st. Since we believe in treats, not tricks, we're sharing this beautiful printable with you. Come download it and come download it today. Okay, for Facebook, and then I'm going to take the URL and then I'm going to drop it in if it lets me. Okay. And then for Facebook, it should pull the picture for you, but it's been super cranky with mine lately. And so, yeah, see. And so I had a friend actually tell me recently that what she's been doing, because Facebook's been cranky about that too, because I seriously have a real love-hate relationship with Facebook, guys. Yeah. So what it's supposed to do is pull the pictures from the blog post and put them right into here, because Facebook loves itself and it won't penalize you as much if you're doing what it wants it to do. But photos, especially for things like this, are really important on Facebook too. I know I'm much more likely to click on something that has a photo, so I'm going to go here and manually upload it. So I would really encourage you guys. So you're going to want a cute little blurb, you're going to want the URL to click on, and you're going to want a photo, and then publish. And for Facebook, do not include hashtags. Never, 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 never include hashtags unless the brand is paying you to do it and tells you that you must include hashtags. And I don't even understand why our brands are making us include hashtags on Facebook anymore, and that is me talking from a PR perspective, because it will kill your reach. Because I have 3,589 likes right now, and if I really try to really get good post engagement, I mean, you can even see over here, guys, with that many, I only have had 1,000 people reached, and that's with getting good post engagement too. So it's just, I just have issues with Facebook. But so then you post it there. So for my contributors, what I always do now is I've tried to work smarter, not harder. And so especially if it's your own post, I would really encourage you, because hopefully you're not going to be writing anything on our site that you're not going to want to share and brag about with your friends and family. So then as soon as you're done, I want you to come down here. Yes, But I've also, it does look cleaner if you do that, but I have gotten less click-throughs because I think some people don't put the fact together that they can click through on the link. And also with this one, since it didn't upload it, I uploaded it. Facebook, if it is behaving, it will automatically take the link away and then slick it down in here. But this one, if you have to upload it yourself, because like with my site, I don't know why it hates pulling images from it. So you actually can't delete that because then there won't be a link at all. So Facebook has it set up that if you actually put in a URL that is behaving the way that Facebook wants it to, it'll take the ugly link away and then like make it obvious. I'll try to see if I can find one that's an example like that for you guys. Like I said, I've been doing lots on Facebook lately. Okay. So this one I was finally able to do that. So like we could have taken this out because then it pulled it up here and then it's kind of obvious that you can do it. But I've had less click-throughs actually, Sean, when I've done that because I don't know if people are just like not like, oh, I should click through it, you know? So that's actually something I've been looking at because I hate ugly links, you know, and like in my blog, I will not allow an ugly link anywhere. And that's actually something for my contributors. A couple of you I've explained that to, but for those of you who are not, in a blog post, never leave an ugly link like this. Always hyperlink. Always hyperlink. But for Facebook, it's just so hard to get any traffic or click-throughs that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to do that, even if it is ugly. So, for my girls, you know that I said that I want you to come and interact on our page because, yep, exactly. It is, yeah. And yeah, you always have to keep, that's another thing too, which my contributors don't have to worry about, but one thing I have to worry about is trying to figure out, especially with Facebook, because we have to have it because I have brands that want us to have it. So I'm trying to figure out, since we have to have it and we have to work on it, then we need to figure out how to make it work best for us since we're having to already put the time and effort and energy into it. Oh yes. So for my contributors, Facebook hates showing stuff to people. It will only show stuff to people if people are showing that it's interesting. So if you girls come down here, and then you'll see right now that you're liking and commenting as Confident Foundation, and I want you to click on the drop-down link, and I want you to turn into you. Then you can like it, and then you can share it if it's your own post, or if it's like, you know, like this post of brands, which I'm going to do, and then you can just click share and share now public, and it will make it super easy and fast, and you don't even have to put anything extra if you don't want to. And then the more we do that, and then the more we like comment on each other's stuff, because obviously it looks a little funny if you're commenting on your own. Like I wouldn't write one of my posts, or like I wouldn't come down to here and be like, Nicole, your dress is beautiful, because that's just a little strange. But like for this post of Brienne, I could put, wow, this turned out beautiful, I love it. And the more we like and comment, even though we're all admins on the page, Facebook will still see that as, oh, people are liking and commenting and sharing, and it will actually increase the views and show it to more of our fans. So that's just something I've already talked about a little bit in our group, but just super important to remember, because we want to share this with as many people as possible. Like I said, we don't want all that hard work to go to waste. So then you have it on Facebook. After you do Facebook, I would literally just copy this and go over here, and then the only platform that I actually want you to share from our blog on is Google+. And for that, you can just go here, copy, paste, whatever you put on Facebook. Add in a relevant hashtag if you want to. Like maybe I'll put like April 1st or something on there. Because Google+, basically what I use it as is Google loves Google. So I'll put April Fools. Google loves Google. So as they index my posts faster and they show up in search better when I share on Google+. So that's all I use it for. And then share. And then I don't, since I made you all sign up for a Gmail, you all have a Google+ account. So if you will just do that, make sure you're signed into your Google, and then you just do that from mine, you can share it on your Google+, and it will do the exact same thing. So That's how you share on Google+. So now we've done Facebook, we've done Twitter, and we've done Google+. And then the last one that we'll do is Pinterest. So for Pinterest, you can pin from the website, or I have the little pin it button, and then I also have my pin it here, where if I right click on anything, I can pin it from anywhere, which I love. So for this, we'll do, sorry for like the wagging around. Okay, so we'll do Pinterest, and we'll do pin it. All right, so let's make this bigger. Okay, so right now it just says hello. All right, and you're all added. I gave you all the password for my Pinterest, and I want you to pin to my boards. So if you need to, first you can go to Pinterest. I should have it right here. Sign in as Confident Foundation, and you'll see I actually changed our brand to Confident Foundation. That used to be my name, but since we're all going to be pinning now, I have it just as Confident Foundation, so we are the brand now. And so then you can see we have 122 boards, so there should be somewhere that you can easily find whatever you write will fit. I will probably pin this one to, let's see, where should we pin it to? Let's look, because it'll be like one of the first free pinnables we have that's decor. So I think that this one will probably be, probably would work really well in quotables. All of her stuff would be good in quotables, but that one's more of just kind of like a fun one. So I think what I'll actually do is put it in dream home living areas, because then that's one that people can go to when they're actually looking for like decor ideas, and then it will show that it's a printable that will be free. And then now that we have Brianne doing this for us, it might actually be a good idea if I started looking around to see if I could find some of these. These are boards that like are group boards. So then I connect with other bloggers, and they're like, hey, do you want to pin to my educational travel board? And I say, of course. And so then they put us on here, and then all of us bloggers go and fill these boards up. So I know there's some that are printables, so I might actually like start asking around in my Facebook groups to find out one that I can do it, so that we can get her awesome posts more leverage. So now that I've looked through all the boards, I'll say, okay, I know that that's where I want to pin it. So I'll go back to my thing, and we'll see it here. Okay, for Pinterest, you want to think like Pinterest. So you're not going to copy and paste what you wrote on Facebook or Google Plus or Twitter and put it on here. And you're not just going to take whatever pulls up when you pin it and then just pin it as that. You want to do something that makes it clear what the post gives. You do want to write in the third person, because people are lazy, and when they repin, they almost never go in and edit the description. So you're going, even though it will be weird to make it sound like, you know, from something else, then that's what you're going to do. And I'll actually find one of my latest pins to give you guys a good example of how to do this. Okay, so my King Ranch chicken casserole, I did this. And it says, yum, this is definitely going to become a staple around our house, and I love the penny pinching and time-saving hacks, too. King Ranch chicken casserole recipe and how to perfectly portion for a family of 4, Confident Foundation. All right, so even though I'm the one who wrote this, I did it in the third person, because when people repin, this is what's going to go there. And if you notice on Pinterest, the ones that have a ton of repins are ones like this. You have like this fun little blurby conversational style of how why you like the pin, what the post has value of, and then again I reiterated what it actually was down here, so that it would be searchable. But you don't want to just put King Ranch chicken casserole and then down here have it say King Ranch chicken casserole. No, like that's hardly going to get, I mean, you might get some good repins on that, but only if it's an absolutely amazing like item or whatever. Another example, these are so cute, but the best part is that anyone can make them, and they actually taste delicious too. So perfect for a movie night or party. And then I put the title. For Pinterest, the hero images, you want a vertical image that's nice and clear and bright, and with the, preferably with the thing over it. Like I didn't do that one. Let's see. You don't have to though. If it's an amazing, amazing photo, then you don't have to, because like this isn't my recipe, but that's an awesome photo. And then in the title, she says clearly what they are. So play around and see. Sometimes like these images are awesome. I didn't create this one either. They're like, you can say, okay, this is something somebody else made, and then I did this one. They're so time consuming, guys. I'm really, really time consuming. So only do those if you think it's something that would really be awesome. So here's a better example. I was showing you guys ones that hardly got any repins because I hadn't promoted them yet. But like this one has 22, and then I did this. Oh, Pinterest. Okay. Pinterest used to love hashtags, and now Pinterest hates hashtags ever since they introduced the algorithm. So back when I made this, because this is actually from not this past Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before. Back then they loved hashtags. Now they hate them. So I will actually go into this and then take out all of the hashtags except for the one that I was paid to put in. With Pinterest, so Google Plus hashtags are great. Twitter hashtags are great. Instagram hashtags are great. Facebook and Pinterest, avoid them like the devil. Do not ever, ever, ever put them in unless people are paying you big bucks to do so. So anyways, hopefully that kind of gets your mind thinking. If you're having a hard time coming up with like that, just go on Pinterest, find some of those posts that have been repinned 1,000 times, and look at them and see what did they put down here? What is this formatted like? And then that's the best way that you can learn, is just by looking at successful other pins or bloggers or social media posts, and just really start thinking about anytime you're on Facebook and you see something and you do end up sharing it, why? What made you want to click through to share that article, other than the fact that it was a good article? What initially, was it the title? Was it the photo? Was it what your friend had said about it? If you start paying attention, like I said, because I'm having us write for us. I'm having busy moms with little kids. I want you to start paying attention to your own habits, and then that will really help. Let me flip the screen so you're not just staring at the board. If you start focusing on your own habits, that will really help you learn to see why you do what you do, and then how to do that for other people, so that then they'll want to do the same things. So, and I guess I actually need to go back and like make the pin for this one. And then those are the main ones. So, I'll do this pin, and then I'll walk you through the steps again for my contributors, the things you need to do after you schedule a post, and then after the post goes live. This is what you're responsible to do for your post on my website. Or if you have a different website, then I'll be showing, then you can see how to do it for that. All right, so like I said, all right. So we'll say this gorgeous free printable word art would be so happy in the entryway of a home, or perfect in a basket, in a pick-me-up basket for a friend. So, and then that kind of gives people you want to maybe like either share something about the blog post that's useful, or for this one, it's a short, sweet blog post because it's basically just given the word art. So then you want to maybe like get their, since we're on Pinterest, you're going to get their ideas, their wheels turning in their brain of how that they can use this. So we'll say this. And so then, since I did also say like it would be great for a pick-me-up basket for a friend, then right now I'll pin it to dream home living areas, and then later on I'll pin it to tie it with a ribbon, because that's my gift giving board. So then you just pin it, and then now, ta-da, there it is. So pretty. So, okay. So for my contributors, these are the steps you need to take. All right, so you have this lovely post that just went live on Confident Foundation, and you're so excited. So your steps are, Well, first, once you write the post and schedule it, if you're scheduling it in advance, then your first step, I did this the other day. If you need to go back and watch my Google Calendars thing, your first step will be, so I will actually want to move this one, for example, to tomorrow because Brianne's post, or no, yes, great, never mind. This card changes. So Brianne's post actually went live yesterday, but I'm just doing this today. So I will click on there, and then I will put, so always put your first name for my girls. So Brianne, hello, art. And then create the event. And also for my contributors, if you forgot to do it, go ahead and put it back in here because that gives us good track of the content that we've had and how spread out it's been and all that stuff. But if you were going to write a post and schedule it for next Wednesday, which, for example, Doris is, so I will put Doris Jiffy SoFab, and then create the event. So now everybody knows that, for example, next week, Doris has a post going live on the 6th, and I have a post going live on the 7th, so anybody else who's doing it knows that they can schedule 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 8th. So, and like I said, from now on, this is your responsibility to do. As soon as you schedule a post, or even if you just know, if you're like working for SoFab and you know that you have a post coming up, immediately come in as soon as you accept it and do that. Also, for my other girls, and you can see Becca did this. Becca did Becca movie review by midnight. So I talked with you girls about picking dates in advance to make it easier for you. To know how to, like, even if you don't have a strict deadline, please set a deadline for yourself, and that will just give us all a better idea of what we have coming up, and it will give you a stricter deadline to follow and to motivate you with. So for those of you who have pending reviews, please come in here and add these to the website. So yeah, so that will be your first step. So come in, and anytime you have a review, come in and put your pending date. You can even change it to a different color or something if you want to, and do that. Once it is scheduled, then, like, say for example, Becca gets really motivated and she decides that she's gonna like actually post the movie review earlier. So then she can just come in here and go, okay, well, I thought it was the 22nd, but I'm doing a lot better, so I'm going to change it to the 18th. And so she could put it there, and like that's the date it actually goes live. And then she can also go she can also go in and edit it and then put so then she'll probably just delete this part out once it's done. So I'll actually change that back so that she doesn't go in and go, what is going on? Anyways, okay, that's your first step. Then once your post goes live, I want you to come on here, and then and I'll put down the steps in our group too to make it easier, and they're already actually in there, I think, but I'll tweak them a little bit after this. Once your post goes live, then you need to share on the big 4. I actually make it super easy. You can just look at it here, and it will remind you which 4 I want you to share on. I want you to share on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Pinterest, and that's why I have them here, is because I swear I want our fans to share them too. So then just like kind of mentally check box them off as you go through, and then once that's done, you're done. Once we get a little more momentum, I'm going to have you guys join Pinterest share groups on Facebook, like this one, I Heart Pinterest Share Your Pins. I probably won't make you do that in April, but I'm thinking maybe May or June, depending on how crazy my life becomes. I'm going to make you guys start doing that for each post that you do. So if you guys have